Come on in. I'm Ron Pope. We are on my bus. We just started my Stuck on the Moon tour to promote my new album, Bone Structure, that's coming out this year. So that's what we're doing. We're here on my bus. This is our first day on the bus. We just woke up a little while ago. I know that they play Settlers of Catan when I go to sleep, which is not what you'd expect to happen on a tour bus, but a whole bunch of people do that. Sometimes there's movie nights. Through all of this, I am asleep, because if you don't sleep, you lose your voice. So there's 12 of us on this tour, which is a lot of people. Every bunk on the bus is full. And so Kylie, our tour manager, who is also our photographer and runs merch, she kind of sets up here. I woke up in the middle of the night and she was still here by herself editing pictures. She is very serious about her job. So that's like her little office right there. And I have been sitting in this chair. I haven't claimed it, but that is my coat. And everybody, you know, there's 12 of us, so you kind of find a space wherever you can when there's just so many people on the tour. We have a rule: you don't generally put anything where butts could go, and so this coat is not supposed to be here, but I'm on the bus alone, so that's why. And so yeah, there's 12 of us. There's 8 people in the band. There's a tour manager, a production manager, a guitar tech, and then my friend Caroline Spence, who's opening the tour, is also riding with us because the shows are far apart, so she hitched a ride. So this is the kitchen once you get onto the bus. The kitchen is right here. And so this is where the day sheet goes, and that says what time our interview is. Look, Bus Invaders interview. Here we are. What time everything is happening so that you know where the hotel is, how food is gonna happen today, what's around, where if there's a gym sometimes nearby it goes on there. And then we haven't unpacked because we just got on the bus, but this is the start of the bar. Paul, who is on this tour, one of my oldest friends, he's like a bartender, so he's got all these different bitters. He really likes to make fancy cocktails. So Paul makes a bunch of cocktails that are wonderful. I really like it when he makes old fashions. They're really good, not too sweet, just right. He makes a Boulevardier, he makes a Negroni. He does a lot of different really fun cocktails. He does a bunch of Scotch cocktails, and I'm not crazy about Scotch, but other people rave about those. And he brought this Mezcal this time. He makes a number of Mezcal drinks that he's really stoked about. But I'm primarily a whiskey drinker, so he tends to make me an old fashioned. And he loves to do it. It's really kind of adorable. So this is Paul Hammer. Plays keyboards and banjo and guitar and I don't know what else you're doing in this band.
Bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and so, but Paul is also our in-house mixologist, and so Paul can tell you about the cocktails he's making on this tour.
Well, as Ron said, we spend a lot of time on this bus, especially in this area, and after a show, and before the show sometimes, we like to have a drink or 2, or 3, or 4. So this is early on in the tour, so we're just getting started, but we've set up our own little bar here. And we've got all the essentials. We've got vermouth, Campari, gin, a lot of bourbon, tequila, mezcal, and bitters. So we'll make a lot of like classic cocktails like old fashions, Manhattans. I think once we get some fresh citrus, we'll make margaritas. But yeah, it's just, you know, this way we have a little functional bar here and make the lounge a little bit more a good spot for entertaining to end the night. So yeah, we could make this bar a little bit prettier, but for safety reasons, it is in a box and on this sticky mat, because otherwise, as soon as we hit some bumps, it would all just fly off, and we don't want that. So for this month, this is our bar.
We once had a jar of pickles fall and break on the bus, and that was an honest-to-goodness tragedy. So we're very conservative with our glass on the bus, because if it breaks, whatever was in it makes the bus stink. So we're careful with glass. So the bus had a tea kettle on it already, but Kristen, who plays fiddle and sings harmonies and stuff, she brought this tea kettle. So this is it turns out this is a group that's very serious about tea. So I don't even know where they put it. Here's a sampling of again, we got on the bus yesterday. Here's a sampling of teas. There's lots of them. But yeah, I found out yesterday everybody on this tour drinks a lot of tea. So there's we have 2 tea kettles. Also, everybody is kind of into fancy coffee. And so we just got this Printers Run as a coffee place down the street here in Chicago. So we just got this today for our on the bus coffee pot. So yeah, that's our beverage setup. So there's some snacks up here, Lara bars. I eat one of these every day. I really like them, so I guess those are for me. Bananas, cereal, bread. Let's see. I bet there's hummus. There's always hummus on tour. Sandwich stuff and milk. I'm assuming for coffee. There's 3 fridges. They're all kind of small. There's like this stand-up one, and this one's full of beer, and there's 1 Coke in here. Seltzer. I'm assuming for cocktails. And then what's down here? Oh, this one's empty. Okay. Like I said, it's the first day. I just woke up here. So and then I think there may be snacks in here. No snacks in here. Coats, shoes, the accordion's in here. Huh, go figure. This is the bathroom, which is very small because it's a tour bus. There's a picture of Marilyn Monroe in there for some reason. And number 1 rule on tour, the first thing they teach you is nothing can go in the toilet except for liquids, not even tissues. We learned that a very gross way. So, and then these are the bunks where everybody sleeps. So there's 12 of them. This one's mine. Got my pajamas in it, my slippers, my top kit. It's like my home away from home. I even brought a pillow from my house. So my bunk is always in the back on the left-hand side, the opposite of the driver. And the reason I always pick the middle in the back is it's the farthest from the front lounge. So it's the quietest because that's where people hang out at night when I'm asleep. And so that's why I picked this one. I like the middle because you don't have to climb into it or like scrunch up to get down there. And so I have always picked the middle, and I don't know why I always pick this side, but I selected it at some point, and then I just kind of, that's what I do. It's one of those, that's my bunk, that's where I go, always. So that's where I sleep. Back here is the back lounge. There's another TV. There's another TV there too, look at that. So there's TVs all over the place. And you can set up this room as a bedroom, and I know a lot of artists do that. I don't like sleeping in the back because it takes up like space that everybody can be using. I prefer to just take a bunk if I can. So on this tour, since we have 12 people, I can do that. So I'm just in a bunk. And this way, you know, we can store some stuff back here. That's the trumpet, the fiddle, because they're not great in the trailer because of the temperature changes, because it's the dead of winter right now. And then I take up some of the drawer space back here. Like this is where I keep my socks, down there by those, whoever shoes those are. And then there's a closet back here. And so that's where my stuff is. It's a little crammed in here, but got my leopard print shirt, naturally. I'm on tour. I'm not gonna, you know, I can't wear that to, you know, the drugstore when I'm at home, so I bring that out on tour. And because it's a tour around America, I find that like the things that I need or I want the most that I miss from home generally are different coats and different shoes, because like today it's sleeting and with the wind chill it's like 20 degrees, so I want to wear a warm coat and a scarf and a hat. And then like I brought a denim jacket, I brought like sneakers and boots for stage and boots for knocking around and like boots for when it's freezing outside and it's, you know, like slushy. And so that's kind of the thing, like a thing that I didn't know at first, I guess, you know, when I was starting to tour, was shoes. I have my running shoes. I have flip-flops, you know, because like we're going to be in Los Angeles, we're going to be in Phoenix, but we're also going to be in Toronto. And so that's kind of like I have a bathing suit and I have the warmest wool winter coat that I own that's, you know, like to the middle of your thigh. So it's kind of a packing for an American tour in the dead of winter is pretty funny. I have a lot of people on this tour do yoga, so I have my yoga mat because we all have been saying we're gonna go to yoga together, but it's the first day, so I slept till lunchtime today. We have a fairly new baby. She's about 1.5 years, and she wakes up about 7 o'clock in the morning. And so the past 2 days, for my voice, I have been sleeping, and it has been unbelievable. I slept until 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. That was maybe the first time in about a year that I did that. And then today, I woke up around lunch, and I got to tell you, I feel like $10 million. So that was pretty unbelievable. But yeah, just kind of getting used to living here. I always say, like, it's very easy for me to stay on tour. Like, once I'm on tour, I can kind of roll forever. But it's hard to get going and get into a routine and figure out your rhythm. And everybody's is different. Some people always want to have a buddy and do everything with somebody else. Some people like to have as much alone time as they can manage. And so I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Paul's on this tour. Paul's one of my closest friends. We've been friends for 15 years. And so we hang out, and I hang out with everybody in the band. You know, everybody here is like people I really like. That's why they're here. But this morning I went and got coffee by myself, and called my wife. And so, you know, it's kind of a mix of that. You know, you have to find a balance because we're in this small space with 12 adults traveling together for a very long time. I always say that anybody that goes on tour with me for a month in this kind of setting spends more time with me than I've spent with my brother since I was like 18. And so that's pretty striking. It's like you're really getting very intimate with people when you live in a small space. Like, being on a tour bus is cool. It's a dream. Certainly, you know, I aspired to do this, and you know, here I am doing it. It feels great. But it's once you get here, you're like, oh, it's like we live in a dorm. It's a nice dorm, but we're kind of in a dorm where you can't put tissues in the toilet. So I'm glad that you came and that we were able to show you the bus. I've got a brand new album coming out this year. It is called Bone Structure, so be on the lookout for that. There's already some singles out. If you want to come see us on the road, stop in at ronpopemusic.com, and there's tour dates and pretty much everything you need to know about me is there. So thanks for coming to see us. I need to get ready, so I will see you soon. Thank you very much. I'm Ron Pope. Bye-bye.